Hi boys and girls, how are you today? Today we are going to be using our social studies workbook. Looks like this. And we're going to be starting unit 4, which is the purple section. So if you can find unit 4, the purple, it says Hello Earth. And it's page 59, so 5 and 9. 59. Can you find that? There should be a little school bus on there. This is going to be all about our community and where we live, and the big idea is going to be about where we live affects how we live. Okay, so we're gonna learn about that. So I think that this lesson is so neat because right now we are all in our homes and it'll be fresh in our mind about where we live. If we read the star at the top, and you can try to read with me, okay? It says, the buddies are going on a field trip. If you were going on a field trip in your community, where would you like to go and why? So we didn't get to take too many field trips this last year, but we did get to go to that bounce place, that trampoline park, and that was a lot of fun. And we also got to take a field trip to the local library, and that was neat. A field trip is when you go to visit something that you normally wouldn't go to every single day. So like a museum or a zoo or a park or a beach. But generally a field trip is something that you can drive to. So it's not something necessarily that you're going to take an airplane to. You're going to be going somewhere in your local community. So if you live in Eagle, you would want to think of somewhere in Eagle that you could take a field trip to. If you live in Palmyra, you'd want to think of somewhere in Palmyra that you take a field trip to. Or if you live in another local city. So I live in the city of Waukesha, so I would want to think of a place in Waukesha that I could take a field trip to. So for this lesson, you're going to need some markers, crayons, colored pencils, and a regular pencil. So if you want to pause the video and get that stuff now, that'd be perfect, and we'll work on this together. I have all of my markers and pencils ready to go, and I'm sure you do too. So let's take a look at what it's asking us to do. You see this big empty box here with the school bus in it? This is where we're going to draw our picture of where we would go on our field trip in our local community. So I want you to brainstorm in your head of all the places in Eagle that you could go on your field trip. And if you don't live in Eagle, then you might have to ask Mom and Dad for some help, for some ideas on where you can go. So if you live in Eagle, you could go to the library, you could go to the fire department, the police station. You could also go to the local Kettle Moraine parks and go for a walk in the park. You could go to Old World, Wisconsin. You're kind of lucky living in Eagle that you have a destination where many, many people go. Maybe if you live in East Troy, you could go to Timberwolf Camp. That's a really fun place. So kind of think in your head about where you would go. I have to brainstorm where I would go living in Waukesha. So I want you to do that now. Okay, so hopefully you've thought of somewhere really neat that you want to go. I think that I am going to take a trip to my local library, and so I am going to draw a picture of my library books, and I'm going to do that now. Great, did you finish your picture? So I drew a picture of a library book and a library card to kind of show that I would take a field trip to the library. So when you're finished with your picture, post a picture of your final picture of your final drawing in Seesaw, and I will take a look at where you would go on your field trip. I can't wait to see all of your field trips and where you would go. That's all you need to do for social studies today. Have a wonderful day, and hopefully the sun comes out later.